What's up guys, welcome to Supercars of London, and a morning I am very much looking forward to. Since starting my YouTube channel in 2008, I was continually looking forward to turning 25 so that I could get behind the wheel of some pretty incredible machines. And for those that have recently subscribed to my channel, you would have seen that luckily I have been able to drive some pretty special cars. However, today I'm going to Southern Sky Motors to drive a 2016 Lamborghini Aventador SV. Today is an incredible day and I'm heading over there in my AMG GTS. All morning I have been thinking about this one question that over the last 5 to 10 years of doing Supercars of London, filming cars in London, there has always been one question that I ask as to why do we see more supercars on the road than ever before? Back when I started, 2006, 2007, I used to go into London, walk around all day for 8 to 10 hours, cover well over 10 miles, and be happy if I saw a couple of Lamborghini Gallardos and a Ferrari F430. The highlights of some of my amazing car spotting experiences were bumping into cars like the Pagani Zonda F, the Ferrari Enzo, or even a Murcielago LP640, because back in the day, they were the crazy cars. Fast forward 10 years to now, and you can go and walk around central London for half an hour and see dozens of Lamborghini Aventadors, even Porsche 918 Spiders, McLaren P1s, LaFerraris, and the cars are becoming more and more common, even though the price of them are becoming more expensive. So I always have this question as to why are there so many more supercars on the road than ever before? And the one answer that I always come round to is that modern technology makes these cars a lot easier to drive. So today I'm going to Southern Sky Motors to test drive the flagship Lamborghini, the big V12 Aventador SV, to find out just whether you could daily that incredible hypercar, but also just how easy is it to drive. By complete coincidence, this is exactly what I am talking about. I've just bumped into a brand new McLaren 570S on the way to Southern Sky, completely random, and this car, the 570, is at 140 grand new plus options, which is more expensive than what the Ferrari F430 was, and also the Lamborghini Gallardo was when it first came out. So that is what I'm talking about, the entry-level McLaren I've just randomly bumped into. I've also seen a Ferrari California T, tons of Bentleys, and a Rolls-Royce Ghost, just on a Tuesday. Here we are down at Lamborghini Heaven. Southern Sky have got an awesome all blacked out LP560 there, and they've also got a Giallo Midas Lamborghini Gallardo LP560 here. But today we have come down to check out and drive the Lamborghini Aventador SV, Lamborghini's flagship car, the hardcore race version Super Veloce, 750 brake horsepower from a 6.5 litre V12. The engine sits right at the back and this car looks absolutely stunning. There's no other word to describe what this car is. It is Lamborghini through and through. As Jeremy Clarkson would say, this is the car that you would sit in maths class drawing as what you want cars to look like. And on the road this car looks absolutely amazing. I have seen a few colours, not too many. There was a yellow Aventador SV Roadster out in Monaco on English plates as well, with a very similar number plate. This is SV12 Jet, and the one in Monaco was an SV Roadster SV16 Jet. So let's just take a look around at some of the details on this car before we jump in and just see how easy that car is to drive. Oh, it's definitely difficult. Oh, the doors are so cool. The seats feel like you're sitting on a block of cement. You do. Oh, and we're back with the wonderful off-centre pedals of Lamborghini. I'm joined here with Grant, if you can see him. The GoPro has got a wide lens, so foot on the brake. car has got a lift system, so that's a good thing to have around town. And it's saying please refuel, so we will experience that. I'm in first gear. Let's take it off from park.
Just get out.
Yeah.
And up the bridge.
And this is ridiculous. Is that the game?
Sorry.
And do you know what? The steering's incredibly light for a four-wheel drive system. The seat, however, is probably not that adjustable, is it?
Not overly, no. Everything is fixed. Backrest fixed, yeah.
Oh my god. How close am I to the side? Because I know this is a wide car.
Not that bad. Just be careful, there's a pothole just over the other side of the bridge, so...
Wow, this car it's got stiff suspension.
Let's go down where that is.
There we go, got it. Should put the lift down. I've never sat in a car with a driving position as aggressive as this. I am like up, sitting like this, facing forward, down, in sort of the same angle as the way that the car stoops right at the front to the point. And I have to say, I'm driving it in automatic at the moment. And first impressions are, the steering at low speeds is incredibly light, but then as soon as I start picking up the speed, I'm doing 40 miles an hour, definitely there's some weight in it, and I'm sure the faster you go, the quicker round bends you go, the more this car adapts to the driving style. Pulling out of junctions is relatively easy. Oh, I can hear that V12 slowly warming up. My view in the wing mirrors are just incredible. I feel like I'm all over the road though. The suspension is just quite disorientating, if I may say so, on these roads. Like the UK roads probably aren't the best place to drive a car like this, but lots of bumps and you feel everything. I thought the Gallardo was pretty stiff, but this is on a whole new level of race suspension. I'm concentrating a lot, and to be honest, jumping into a car that's got so much brake horsepower, 6.5 litre V12, 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, is it 2.6 or 2.8?
So around 2.8 I believe.
2.8 seconds. Back in the day, the Murcielago was a real pig to drive. People that drove it said that it was exactly like a Diablo. If you had it in the E-gear mode as well, it was very clunky. Clutches lasted about 5,000 to 7,000 miles depending on how you drove it. Sitting in this car for 5 minutes, we've got a full Alcantara steering wheel, which is about half the size, or it feels about half the size as my AMG. It just gives you a little bit more feel, and it's a little bit more race car-y. The AMG obviously being a super GT car, you want just a chunky, comfortable steering wheel. The Alcantara is very, very nice material. I've got all sorts of different buttons on here. We're driving it in Strada, which means street mode. So this is the comfiest setting, right?
Should be able to put it in sport mode, you can get the exhaust over
Okay, even in sport, the gearbox is still warming up. You can still feel that it's a single clutch gearbox. But that is not a bad thing in a car that just commands so much drama and noise. my god, the car, like, the throttle is so heavy that it makes the car and the engine just feel incredibly heavy. But if we're going to be talking about just how easy is this car to drive, or how potentially easy this car is to live with, yes, the seats are pretty unforgiving and have no padding or comfort whatsoever. What are you going to expect from the race version of the Lamborghini flagship car? The wing mirrors are so big that you get an incredible view, that you can see pretty much everything that you want to see. The blind spots basically aren't as bad as they were in the Gallardo. This would be a sight to see if I was driving and saw this car coming towards me. Just feels so planted. And if your back or if your entire body isn't sensitive to sitting in an uncomfortable seat for however long, no denying that this car is actually quite easy to drive, and it's not as difficult as I was expecting. The way that I'm sitting, the driver position, sitting right over the front wheels, I know I've got a massive V12 in the back and probably 2/3 of the car behind me as well, but it doesn't seem to make a difference at all. The throttle pedal makes the power delivery so easy to manage. It's so heavy that any percent... Jesus. You can tell that this is the big Lambo. One of the coolest things that I just did not think about with the Aventador, with the glass engine cover, is the slats free up the sound of the engine for the inside of the car, so we get an incredible sound coming from the car. Let's build the revs up and go higher than 6,000 RPM. There is something about naturally aspirated V12s. Unlike some of the other cars that I've recently driven, including the Lamborghini Huracan, when you take your foot off the brake, the car doesn't lurch forward like a normal automatic does. This car, you need throttle to get the car moving. The steering stiffens up pretty damn quickly. I bet this car on a racetrack is an absolute animal. And I tell you what, I feel slightly more confident driving this car with four-wheel drive than I did with the F12 that had rear-wheel drive. 730 brake horsepower to the rear wheels. It's something I would probably need quite a lot of time to get used to. But with this, it just makes everything that little bit more easier, which is why I think I prefer driving this car to the F12. It's quite nice to cruise around in. Very easy, swooping dash, epic dashboard here, which is exactly the same as the, well, sort of an updated version of the Lamborghini Veneno. Then we're back into automatic, goes down the gears for me, very, very smooth, and then we can just cruise off again. smoother than previous Lambos. I probably wouldn't say it's as smooth as the Hurricane, because of course that's got the double clutch gearbox. The Aventador is yet, and probably won't, get a double clutch gearbox, because the Aventador chassis just can't fit. With the V12 engine, the double clutch gearbox is too big to fit onto the Aventador chassis. What a car! I know I've just been sort of having a massive smile on my face. What do you expect of driving an Aventador SV? But if we were to sum up what this car is like to drive, a lot easier than I was expecting, which answers my question that cars are becoming easier to drive. I would love to imagine testing this car back to back with a Diablo SV. We could have really got an idea of just how cars have come on in the last 10 to 15 years, because I don't know what I'm indicating there. I just can't believe that I'm sat driving a £400,000 Aventador SV. One, I can do it, and two, it's a lot easier than it looks. I think one question that I ask a lot of Aventador customers is the car too wide? And the car is like as wide as a bloody bus. But I really don't feel that it is a hindrance to the experience of driving this car. But what a cool car. I'm going to do my best to get as many views for you guys as possible, so you can see what this car looks like on the road, from the inside, and with the sports exhaust on. Never get bored. So fast. For a single clutch gearbox, that downshift is pretty instant. Wow, well, I just would like to say a huge thank you to Grant and Southern Sky for allowing me to come down and drive their most expensive car that you've had for sale ever?
Yeah, I think so.
Ever. So that is pretty crazy, and I think I've answered the question as well. How easy is the Aventador SV to drive, or in general, how easy are these high-performance supercars and hypercars becoming to drive? Surprisingly easy. I don't have that much experience driving cars, and probably not what Grant wants to hear, but it's true, like out of all of the other reviewers out there, a lot of other car YouTubers, driven cars for years, and I'm sat here just sort of pinching myself that I'm driving this car not even a year after turning 25. So this is an amazing dream come true for me, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Let's head back to Southern Sky Motors to round up what an epic day this has been, and also hopefully summarise just how easy some of the most expensive and fastest supercars in the world are to drive. Well, holy crap, that was an experience I will never forget. Driving a Lamborghini Aventador SV. Huge thank you to Southern Sky Motors, and I just want to say that that car, even though it is a V12 brute, it's relatively easy to drive. The steering wheel just makes it feel a lot more manageable, as does the throttle response. The gearbox, of course, being single clutch, isn't exactly the same as a double clutch. I always say that double clutch is just far more superior when it comes to smoothness and speed, but the single clutch just gives it that Lamborghini feel, which I felt that the Hurricane was missing when I drove it, and also being in the passenger as well. So what an epic day, what an epic day, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. So please give it a thumbs up for the Lamborghini Aventador SV, subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you very soon for when I hopefully can get behind the wheel of some other cool stuff, because this day I just don't know what happened. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.